everybody a chance to tap on in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully y'all got about 35, 40 minutes to listen to this peaceful build today, man. We dealing with peace. We focusing on why you need to be your own peace and how peace dependency is at an all-time high. So again, hopefully y'all having a powerful Thursday. Been having a peaceful week, staying healthy, getting the smoothies in, getting your fruits, veggies, water in, all that good stuff. Montel, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Magic, peace, what's happening? Peace is the word of the day, word of the week, word of the year, whatever you want to refer to it as, peace. Joel, peace, what's happening, man? What's happening? What's the word? That's one of the most important things you can have in your life is peace. But you can't rely on anybody else to bring that to you. First of all, can't nobody bring something to you that's already inside of you. Javon, peace, what's happening? That's what we have to realize about most of the stuff that we are seeking. Most of it is already inside of us. We just got to give ourselves permission to activate it. Goddess Isis, peace, what's happening? Colleen, peace, what's the word? Montel, there you go. Tennessee. Hey, hopefully you had a good time, man. Hopefully you had a good time. Miami Soldier, peace, what's happening? What's the word? But yeah, man, we living in a culture of peace dependency. You hear people say, be his peace, be her peace, things like that. That's the culture that we live in. Beast by Bless Zone out, what's happening? But throughout a lot of these conversations, nobody is talking about the fact that you need to be your own peace before any and everything, man. Any and everything else, I should say. Being your own peace is the most important part, man. A lot of people, how many of you all can just be alone? How do you feel when you are alone? Big Smooth, peace, what's happening? Akuma, peace, what's happening? Like, how do you feel when you are alone to yourself? A lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people cannot handle simply being alone to themselves, sitting in silence. They got to be bothered. They got to be distracted. And sometimes when we are alone, we still not alone because we distracting ourselves with a lot of other different things, music, books, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about sitting straight in silence. No distractions, no books, no music, no TV, no computer, none of that. How many people sit like that? How many people sit with themselves on those type of terms for 30 minutes to an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes? A lot of people don't do that. We got to have some type of distraction. We got to have a phone out. We got to have a book. We got to have some music playing in the background. We got to have something happening. We can't just sit in silence with those thoughts, with those feelings, with those emotions, whatever you want to call them. Happy Ted, peace, what's happening? So a lot of times, even when we think we are alone, we're not. Because again, those distractions. Antonio, my brother, peace, what's happening? So you gotta get to that space in your life, man, where you could be isolated, solitary confinement, as they may call it in prison terms, and you comfortable. That's when you are establishing a certain level of peace. Now, the hard part, the challenging part. So I ain't gonna say it's easy to establish that peace, but the hard part is maintaining that peace when you got to deal with the public or deal with other people. So you may have people such as myself, and this is my problem. I have no problem being at peace when I'm in solitude, being at peace when I'm isolated. It becomes more complicated maintaining that peace amongst the public. And I'm going to compare that to like fitness goals. I tell people all the time, losing weight, gaining muscle, that's the easy part. The hardest part is maintaining the weight loss. The hardest part is maintaining the muscle gain. And I feel like your peace is the same way. So once you establish that peace, that's the easy part to where you can be okay by yourself or be okay isolated. The hard part is maintaining that peace when you are interacting with other people. That's the challenging part. Once you get amongst other people who a lot of their main objective is to disturb everybody else's peace, it's hard to maintain that peace in the midst of that. So that's the challenge. So now you have established your peace in solitude. Now you have to maintain that peace. You can't let anybody knock you off your square. That's the most important part. Chris, peace, what's happening? Khalil, what's happening? Nita, my sister, peace, what's happening? Lindell, what's the word? But that's the challenging part. So once you have established that peace, once you have became your own peace, now you must maintain that peace amongst others. And we know how chaotic and toxic society is. So again, when you do the internal work, now the challenge is maintaining what you have done internally while dealing with the public, dealing with the masses. And we know that is the real problem. That is the real challenge. So we can be fine by ourselves, but can you be fine amongst others? Can you maintain that balance? Can you maintain that centered personality, that centered energy when you are amongst other people? That's when you have established true peace. When no matter what these people doing around you, once you are amongst them, you still centered, you still peaceful. That's when you have fully evolved and you have fully activated that peace. That's when you have fully became your own peace. When it don't matter who you interact with, it don't matter what environment you place yourself in, you still maintaining that centered energy, that peaceful energy. Nobody can disturb it. When you allow other people to easily disturb your peace, you still got a lot of work to do. You still got a ton of work to do. It shouldn't be that easy to knock you off that square. It just shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that easy. You know, when you have done the internal work, it should take a lot for somebody to knock you off that square. It shouldn't be that easy. We make it too easy for people to knock us off our square. You know, and hey, I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to y'all. Again, like I said, I could be isolated and be cool. The moment I have to go amongst the public, it's like instant irritation. Because I already know what's about to come my way, and a lot of it is some BS, some nonsense I don't want to deal with. You know? So again, that's something that I'm working on. You know, I'm working on it big time. Like, nah, we can't be instantly irritated. Original One Piece, what's happening? You know, so again, become your own peace, but also maintaining that peace while you are amongst other people. That's the real challenge. That's the real work. But people not even getting that first part down. They're not even getting the first part down. They're not establishing that internal peace by themselves. Because again, society has led them to believe that they have to find somebody in order for them to even activate that peace in the first place. That's false. That's big time false. I don't care how great a person is that comes into your life. If you don't activate that inner peace by yourself, it will never be activated. They can only do so much for you. Like, that's on you. Can't nobody bring you something that you already possess, fam. Can't nobody bring you something that you already possess. They can't do it. They cannot bring you some peace that you already have. You already have that peace, man. You already have it. It's right there. It's inside of you. Inside job. It's inside of you. Give it permission. So all somebody can do is be themselves around you. That's it. If you not willing to activate that inner peace, if you're not willing to like activate that greatness within you, again, these people can only do so much. So you shouldn't be dependent upon that. You shouldn't be dependent upon that at all. And I feel like a lot of people, I feel like 80% of the population, they are. You know, they want to get with somebody that's going to bring that peace to them. Again, something they possess. Then when they get this person, they tend to abuse this type of individual because, again, nobody can supply you with that at all. Patrick, peace, what's happening? Hey, Original One for sure, 100%. You already know I know. And you know I'm working on that. You know, I'm working on maintaining my peace amongst the public. You know, pulling up the parking lots, pulling up the stores, seeing all this traffic and just instantly irritated. Like, what are all these people here for? Like, I'm working on that, you know? A lot of times I like to remain in my bubble, you know, and be bothered on my own terms. You know, so it's at times in order for you to grow, You got to get out of your comfort zone, man. And that's what I've been striving to do just to grow out here, man. Just sometimes place myself out of my comfort zone, have those difficult interactions, have those difficult conversations, place myself in an environment that I'm not necessarily too fond of. That's the way that you grow out here. Because again, we can't give other people the power to disturb our peace. Because once people know that they can do that, guess what? They're gonna abuse it. So we can't give anybody that power, fam. Can't do it. You give them that power, they're gonna abuse it. Every time. Once they see how easy it is, oh, this all I gotta do to disturb original one's peace, I'm gonna do it every time. Every time I'm feeling some type of way, I'm gonna disturb his peace. Because I know exactly how to do it. Don't give people that power. That's what we gotta stop doing. Whether it's in relationships with potential spouses or just like friendships, whatever the case may be, you got to stop giving people that power. Because when people know what button to push, they will push it. And they will push it hard. And they will push it every time they want to get under your skin. They will push that exact button. So the best way to prevent that is don't give them any buttons to push. I'm not giving them any button to push. I'm done doing it. I'm not giving people a button to push. There will be no button that you can push to where I instantly, boom, I'm irritated, I'm angry, I'm upset. No, you have no button. You can do whatever you please. I'm not going to be irritated. I'm not going to let you get underneath my skin. I'm not going to let you do that. Because at the end of the day, what we say, the cream, it rises to the top. That's the truth. Long as I live out my truth, long as I live in my truth, I'm good. I don't have to be annoyed with what you are doing. I don't have to be annoyed with what you are saying. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of putting out that type of energy. The moment I reciprocate that energy, now I got to deal with the consequences of putting that exact energy out. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that at all. CEO, peace, what's happening? I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm going to let you deal with the consequences of coming at me incorrectly. I'm going to let you deal with the consequences of thinking you are pushing my buttons. You got to deal with that. I'm good. Needed for sure. And speaking of journaling, I just started, one of my big problems is consistency. I've been journaling consistently these past few days, man. Been getting a lot of things off my chest, man. Especially, sisters do it typically, but a lot of brothers frown upon the idea of journaling. For whatever reason, they have associated that with being feminine. A lot of brothers, not saying y'all, I'm pretty sure a lot of brothers that's tapped in, they keep a journal, they write their thoughts down. But man, keeping that journal, man, and making sure that you write in that joint on a day-to-day basis is important. Is important, man. Part of mathematics really is the study of patterns. It's hard for you to study patterns within self if you don't have anything to like study and measure. So when you start documenting your thoughts on a day-to-day basis, you are able to study the pattern of the mind. And that's mathematics. The language of the universe, mathematics. So a lot of the reasons why we can't figure ourselves out is because we don't document our thoughts. We try to go based off of memory. That's a dangerous game to play. Document those thoughts, man. You got a hand, you able to write, use it. Don't sleep on it. If you came up with a thought, man, if something been bothering you, write that joint down, date it, and then a year later go back to that, man. See your growth. So we sleep on journaling, man. We be trying to do everything based off memory, man. Listen, we getting on up there in years, man. We got too much that we responsible for, man. So we just got to start jotting things down and study that pattern. That is how you get that's knowledge of self right there. That's studying, that's doing the knowledge to yourself. Document all your thoughts. Just like when you at a job and they tell you to document everything, well, take that and apply it to yourself. Document everything that you thinking. Document everything that you feeling. Document what you eating. Document it all. See, we document everything that happens in corporate America, so we can use it against them. Why don't we document what we do and how we feel? That is why a lot of us cannot get ahead, because we're not documenting ourselves. We're not documenting what we do. We're not documenting how we move. We're trying to remember how we moved a week ago. We done forgot. Nita, my sister, appreciate the donation. Peace, appreciate it. Oh yeah, the law. Hey, the law of detachment is very, very real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I swear by that. Y'all hear me talk about that law all the time and how misunderstood it is. I may sound like a broken record because look, I'm so addicted to that law, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm so addicted to getting people to understand and embrace the law of detachment, and it's severely misunderstood. People misunderstood when they hear detachment, they just think somebody that's heartless, emotionless, and things like that. It's not what it is. I'm trying to tell you. And what's messed up about it is when you live according to the law of detachment, people look at you like you have a problem. You know, they look at you like you have a problem. That's how I am. People try to create a problem within me that don't even exist because I practice this law of attachment. You know, they feel like if something happened to you and you have that type of mentality, like just say for instance, you get in a car accident. This type of stuff that happened to me. You in a car accident, you survive it. And your mentality, like instead of you being in shock, instead of you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I get up, I survive, I look, I say, all right, I'm cool. I survived the accident. I'm thankful. I'm good to be alive. It could have been worse. They look at you like, oh, you got to be traumatized. You need to talk to somebody. This the society that we are in today. They start to make you feel like, make you think or feel like you have a problem because they start suggesting it all the time. Man, I done had a lot of situations happen to me to where I'm like, I'm good. But the people around me keep suggesting that I have a problem. So then when enough people around you saying, hey, you need to go do X, Y, and Z, you start to think. You start to think, maybe I do have a problem. We got to stop doing that in society, man. Like some of us really be good. Like when we go through something like that, some of us really be like, nah, I'm good. I'm happy to be alive. I had a car accident. I'm happy to be alive. And that's it. That's all. That's my sentiments. I'm not traumatized. I'm not suppressing anything. I'm happy to be alive because that could have been worse. But no, we got to keep suggesting that this person have a problem. Now, you might want to go talk to somebody, man. I think you suppressing this, that, and the third. Stop doing that to people. You probably making the anxiety worse. If I tell you that I'm good, quit telling me that I have a problem. Quit telling me that I'm lying. You know, in due time, as we said, the cream always rises to the top. So if I'm lying, listen, that truth gonna eventually make its way to the top. So let it happen. How it's gonna happen. Quit trying to force it out of me if I am feeling some type of way. I can't stand that. Chris, for sure. Hey, you know, I used to be the king of writing poetry and things like that. You know, for sure. For sure. Montel, you say when does attachment become beneficial to self? Just curious. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I'm not a fan of attachment at all. And again, that may sound sick, that may sound crazy, but I'm not a fan of attachment at all because essentially, man, that just leads to obsession. Because at the end of the day, when you are attached to something, one thing about life, listen, we can talk about manifesting, we can talk about law of attraction all we want, but at the end of the day, it's certain things in our lives that we can't control. So a lot of these things, when we attach ourselves to them, it's going to be factors outside of our control that will dictate how this unfolds. So when you attach yourself to an outcome, that can be very dangerous. It can be very dangerous, you know? Very, very dangerous. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Yeah, you can attach yourself to something that's positive, but what's crazy is what happens when a lot of people do that. Let's just say you attach yourself to something that's positive. You know, attach yourself to a financial goal. That's positive. That ain't harmful. But then what happens is when you reach that financial goal, you realize that okay, this ain't it. Something is missing. So now I got to get more money. I got to do something else. You never satisfied. You never satisfied. Once you reach that goal, it's not all of what you thought it would be, and now you got to get more. That's how it always unfolds. Again, detachment is saying, all right, listen, if I hit this goal, cool. If I don't hit this goal, cool. Either way, I'm gonna keep striving. You know, so you more so focused on the day-to-day process. You know, the day-to-day things that, because again, you focused on the here and now. So what are the day-to-day things that I can do? That's what a person that's detached is focusing on. Yeah, you may have an end goal, but again, that end goal is just that. Like if I reach it, cool. If I don't, cool. I had this goal. I want to reach this certain financial amount. I've studied the people that have reached this amount. So I'm gonna implement this process. If I get there, cool. If I don't, guess what? I'm just going to adapt and adjust. I'm gonna try something else. But when people attach themselves to that end goal and they don't reach it, they almost, you know what I'm saying, they depressed and all type of negative feelings. Then when they do reach it, they had what we call it, they overrate, it's overrated. It never exceeds or meets the expectations. So when you have these end goals, man, you think these end goals gonna solve a lot of your problems. And then once you get it, you realize that it didn't. You realize that, oh, okay, this is like overrated. I need more. I thought if I would make if I would have made $20,000 a month, that was gonna make me feel better. It didn't. So now you're gonna strive to get $30,000 to $40,000 a month. Like, nah, no. I see it all the time. People attach themselves to these end goals, man. People attach themselves to these goals. Then when they get them, they never satisfied. All while a person such as myself, I'm living peacefully. I know, it's some people that's living on the street right now that might be more peaceful than a millionaire. Straight up. Azure, peace, what's happening? Straight up, like for real, you might find, I know plenty of people that what they would be called middle class, whatever the case may be. Like internally, man, they in what they would call good spirits. They have good energy, good vibes, better vibes than these millionaires and billionaires. Like straight up, man. So again, man, detachment, man. I'm just focusing on the day-to-day things that I can do, man, to bring health, to activate the health. Activate my health. Activate that inner peace. That's what I'm focused on. The here and now, the present. As they say, that's all that we have. I'm not going to obsess over the future, man. I'm not going to bury myself too deep in the past. You know what I'm saying? All I got is the here and now. So that's what I focused on. That's what I tend to embrace. I have lived in the past for too long. You know what I'm saying? I've done that. I'm just going to take my lessons from the past. Because again, the past is beneficial. You can take your lessons from the past in order for you to move forward. That's Sankofa. That's what that is. But we dwell in that past. I'm not doing that. I'm going to say, all right, this is what happened to me in the past. Boom, what can I take from it? And how can I use this to help me move forward? And the future, it ain't happened yet. So I'm definitely not about to obsess over something that hasn't happened yet. I ain't doing that. All I'm going to do is plant the seed. I'm going to plant the seed, but I'm not going to obsess over it. That's all I'm going to do. A lot of people obsess over something that hasn't happened yet. Anxiety. You know what I'm saying? That's how you activate anxiety. You obsessing over something that you think is going to happen 10 years from now. Why would I do that? And then be confused as to why time is moving so fast for you. Because you can't even, you're not cherishing the here and now. You're not cherishing the present. You so focused on something that's supposed to happen 10 years from now, your time going to move a lot faster. Your time going to move a lot faster, man. You can't even enjoy the here and now. So before you know it, a year has passed. 2 years have passed. And you have done nothing because you so focused on 10 years down the line. Nah, I'm focusing on each day. Each day. I'm trying to savor the moment of each day, each second, each minute. That's how I'm living. That's how I recommend everybody lives, man. That's what I'm on. Like I said, I plant the seed. It's some things that I would like to happen 10 years from now. And I've studied the formulas. So I'm doing the things on a day-to-day basis that will more than likely make that a reality. But at the end of the day, hey, it may unfold or it may not unfold. Either way, I'm going to continue pushing. Either way, I'm going to continue being great. That's it. That's all I can do. Dean, peace, what's happening? Miss Donnie, for sure. That's how I, that's how I look at it. Here and now, the present. I'm telling you, all of y'all right now, I don't know if y'all sitting, standing, I don't know where y'all at, but I guarantee y'all, it's a lot of stuff around y'all that y'all have probably never taken the time out to just appreciate and embrace. Man, I got stuff around me right now. I got Lysol. Man, it's a bunch of things. Man, I got this Plyo box what it's made out of. I'm trying to tell you. Just take a look around you. Just take a look around you, man, at all the fascinating things that are around you. How many times you just take time out of your day to appreciate these things that you are currently around, whether it's the air that's around you. Now, we know some of this air is corrupted with chemtrails and things like that, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. You know, your breath, your breathing, your skin, your hair. You know what I'm saying? Your eyes. Like, how many times you take time out of your day to appreciate these things? How often do you do that? Don't even lie to yourself. Now, how often do you do that? How often do you look at yourself and say, man, I'm thankful for this skin, man. I'm thankful to have some functioning eyes. I'm thankful to have some functioning arms. I'm thankful to be breathing. And then you just focus on the breath. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful. I'm thankful to have some feet. I'm thankful for my toes. I'm thankful for all of that. You know, I'm thankful for this chair that I'm sitting in. Gratitude. How many times you just stop and just appreciate your surroundings, man? And just analyze how beautiful some things are, man. When you analyze how beautiful life can be. Like, straight up. How often do we do that? Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. I know a lot of y'all take these things for granted. I know y'all do. I see it all the time. I know y'all do. Because the first thing we programmed to do is look for something to complain about. That's what we do. I'm talking about first thing in the morning. We ready to complain. I don't want to go to this job. Man, you got a mind. You got hands. You know what I'm saying? You got, listen, you got a brain. You can do something about that. You have awakened for the day. So now you complaining about this job, but you can use that same mind that's complaining about that job to do something about it. But no, first thing, you ready to complain. You either A, ready to complain, or B, jump on social media to complain some more, or to see other people that's complaining, or to just see some nonsense. That's what we be on. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all, hey, we got to appreciate everything, man. Appreciate everything, man. Appreciate it. This stuff ain't promised, it ain't guaranteed. Listen, it ain't no guarantee that man, I know plenty of people. Man, I went to college with a young brother, fam. One of the young bulls. I was in a predominantly white college, man. I went to college, man. One of the young black brothers that was there, man, young bull, probably about 2 years younger than me. Man, man, as years then passed. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what led me to check on dude. Dude had just hit me up like a year before I decided to check on him. And he asked for some fitness tips. He was thinking about going vegan. You know, he played on the football team. He was a bigger brother, you know, probably about 300 pounds or so. You know, so he hit me up. Was like, man, I'm thinking about going vegan, man. Can you help me? Can you guide me? Lead me in a direction? Woo, woo. And we was talking about, I was going to set him up on an online program, all of that good stuff. You know, and then I realized it was just one day. Like a year after that interaction, I was like, dang, man, what happened to bro? I go on this page, man, and I see the brother has passed. And he died in his sleep. You know how many people out here, man, the young people are just not waking up. This is more common than we know. So it ain't really no guarantee that you're going to wake up. When you go to sleep, man, it ain't no guarantee that you're going to get up. So I advise you to appreciate each day. I advise you. Because I have seen people, I've heard people. Man, one of my closest homeboys back in the day, we used to go walk to flea markets to go get CDs, go get music back in the day. He died in his sleep. And it was like early 20s. So a few people I know, man, that was my age, a little bit younger, than died in their sleep. One day they find and they go to sleep, now they don't wake up. You know what I'm saying? They was just fine, fully functioning the day before, then they go to sleep and they don't wake up. Man, that could be anybody. Man, y'all better start appreciating life. For real, man, y'all better stop taking life for granted, man. All that complaining that you're doing, man, you don't want to spend your whole day complaining just to not wake up. That's messed up, man. Appreciate it, man. Our brother Chris, appreciate that donation. You say that's why I stay reading and learning new skills. When you built a table from planks of wood, you appreciate it more, for sure. 100%. Hey, all the equipment in my gym, I put it together. So hell yeah, I appreciate all this. I put all this together, minus this bike over here. You know, I had help from my pops because that boy was tripping. I needed a piece. I needed a tool that he had. You know, because they fumbled. You know, a little piece on there, man. So we had to do some little weird stuff to get it on there. But hey, everything else up in here, man, that requires some assembly, I put it together. So you doggone right, I appreciate everything that's up here. I appreciate this gym, man. All the equipment that people using, I put it together. It was me. You know, so of course I'm finna appreciate all this a lot more. Y'all know me. I thought somebody was finna walk in on me. Thought somebody had something to tell me. I was about to say, here we go. Every time I get the cooking. Every time I get the cooking. Bossy Bree, peace, what's happening? You say, I definitely need to work on staying in the moment. Oh yeah, do it. Eugene, peace, what's happening? Eugene, yeah, and that's what we, you know, in the 8 or the supreme mathematics, that's build, destroy, add, subtract. That's all that life is about, you know. That's all that somebody, they can be an addition or they can subtract. They can either help you build or they can help you destroy. That's it. That's how you got to view people. Is this person helping me build or is they helping me destroy? And then even that, we still got to break some things down because they could be helping you destroy something that needs to be destroyed. And they could be helping you build something that don't necessarily need to be built. You know, so again, that's life though. Miss Donnie, there you go. I'm telling you, man, y'all better start appreciating life. I done seen too many young brothers go to sleep just to not wake up the next day. That's messed up, man. Like, that's messed up. My peace, what's happening for sure? You know that's messed up, and I done seen it too many times, man. I don't know about y'all, but hey, that's enough for me. Like, all right, man, hey, this stuff ain't. Hey, I'm finna, like they say, the cliche, treat every day like it's your last, but man, that's an actual fact. That's an actual fact for sure. Treat every day like it's your last, man, because you just never know. You just never know. Original one, you say, what about multiplication and division? Oh, for sure. That's all a part of the math. A lot of people don't like division and look at division solely in a negative light. Hey, division is necessary. You know, division is necessary, man. I talked about that early on when I was streaming. You know, I talked about division being necessary. You know, it ain't no problem. Like, people look at division and say, oh, we divided. Sometimes that's for the greater good. Sometimes you need to be separated from toxic folks. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to be separated from ignorant folks in order for you to grow. That's division. You know, you need to be divided from them. You know, you need to have them people on that side, then we on this side, and we divided. Because you don't need to be amongst them with that thought process. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that's good. You know, so division is necessary. Every aspect of mathematics is necessary. Even when you was in school and you was doing the math that you thought was unnecessary, all math is necessary. Even the trigonometry, all of that is necessary because, again, it helps the brain. It strengthens the brain, man. The brain, y'all got to understand, is a muscle. So when you was in school and you was doing that tree, when you was doing this math, like, I ain't gonna never use this. That wasn't you wasn't looking at it deep enough, man. That's helping strengthen your brain, strengthen your mind. That's why you are doing that stuff, man. Problem solving. It's helping with problem solving skills. So I'm not gonna ever look at anything. Y'all know how I feel about the school system, but you can take the best part of everything. I ain't gonna never look at that math that we was doing back in the day and say it's useless now. Just because I'm not using the exact problems. No, again, problem solving, critical thinking skill. It helps with that type of stuff, man. You know, so every aspect of math is useful. Every aspect of math is beneficial. Every aspect of math is necessary. Every aspect. Every aspect. I'll never forget my pops, man. My pops told me. My pops said, listen, if you don't master anything in life, master math. Straight up. He was like, make sure you know math. He like, get all that. He said, make sure you know math. That's what my pops said. He's like, look, you listen. If you don't master anything else in your life, make sure you master math. You got to be able to do math. That's what he told me. That's what my pops told me. He's like, man, you got to at least make sure you are able to do math. Straight up. And I'll be doggone if math ain't one of my, man, I'll be doing math off the top of my head. People be looking at me crazy. How you do that? How you know that? How you do that quick? Trying to tell you, you master math, you good. You master math, man. You master the universe. You master math, you are mastering the universe, literally. And that's what my pops ain't realized. That's what he was telling me. But that's what he was telling me. Now I'm able to interpret it in that light. Mastering math is mastering the universe. But see, he ain't even understand that at the time. He just knew that you need to know math. You know, for the basic reasons. You know, being able to count money, being able, like that type of stuff. And then like the problems of man, but he ain't knowing about, oh, mastering math is mastering the universe. My Parker, hey, patience is key. And another thing, man, K Reno, one of my favorite rappers, he said patience don't mean lying around and waiting. That's a lot of people misunderstand that about patience. People think patience is we just gonna lie around, we just gonna wait, we just gonna tolerate a bunch of BS. That ain't necessarily what patience is, man. You know, patience is understanding a process and understanding that it takes time and understanding that it ain't gonna be perfect and accepting everything that comes with it. You know, so if I got something that I expect to happen and it's a process that I must embrace in order for this to happen, patience is saying, okay, man, all right, along this journey, it's gonna be it's gonna be a bumpy road. I might have to take a couple detours, but it's all good. I'm gonna still reach this destination. That's all that patience is. That's it. It don't mean I'm just gonna sit around, wait, and just tolerate some BS. No. Patience is saying, all right, man, this is the end goal. Here's the process. But in order for me to get to this end goal, in order for me to travel down this road, like it's a bumpy road, they doing construction over here. This might have been the easiest way to get there, but they doing construction. So now I got to go the long back way, but it's all good because I'm gonna get there anyway. That's patience. Understanding that, all right, I'm gonna get there anyway. Whether I gotta take this back road, whether I can go this regular way, either way, I'm getting there. That's patience. Like we getting there. Like either way, however it take, if it take us 10 hours and it's supposed to take 8, whatever though, we still gonna get there. And being okay with that. Like I'm okay with getting there in 10 hours instead of 8, as long as I get there. I ain't finna get mad like, oh man, they doing construction. Whatever, they doing construction. They gotta do what they gotta do. So let me go this other way. Either way, we still getting there. You know, so that's understanding that the obstacles and all that type of stuff is a part of the process. That's what patience is, man. Just understanding obstacles and all of that is a part of any process. And just accepting and embracing those obstacles. Like, yep, this is a part of it. It's cool. We still gonna make it happen. We ain't gonna cry about it. We ain't gonna cry about it. We ain't gonna cry about every little obstacle that we gotta jump over, every little hurdle we gotta jump over. We ain't gonna cry about that. That's what patience is. We just gonna jump over the hurdle. We just gonna go around. Like, that's it. All Lindell, for sure. What they call it, autodidact or whatever the case may be. Teaching yourself, self-taught. You know, study some math. If math is not one of your favorite subjects, I recommend you just start dabbling with math. That's going to enhance the mind. It's going to enhance the brain. That's going to make you less susceptible to dementia and Alzheimer's. Master math. You know, study a subject that you're not too fond of. That's how you strengthen the brain. Like, study something that you're not fond of. Study something that you're weak in. So if you're weak in math, study math. If you're weak in physics, study physics. If you don't like history, study some history. Whatever you don't like, study that. That's going to strengthen your brain. You got to challenge yourself, man. That's how listen, when you working out, if you want to grow some muscle, you got to place more stress on that muscle on a weekly basis. You got to make the muscle uncomfortable. You got to make you can't lift the same weight each and every week. You're going to plateau, you're going to hit a wall, and you might go back, you might regress. So in order for you to continue to grow, man, you got to increase something. You got to increase the intensity on a weekly basis. That's basically placing more stress on that muscle, making it more uncomfortable. That's how it grows. That's how you got to treat the brain and the mind. You got to make it more uncomfortable. So you got to start studying things that you are not comfortable studying. That's how you grow the mind. Instead, you want to gravitate towards things that you're interested in, that you're comfortable with. That's easy. That's the easy route. We don't want to take the easy route. Go read that book that you ain't. Go read that physics book if you don't like physics. Go read that biology book. That book that's hard to understand, you might have to read 3 or 4 times to actually grasp what's inside of it. That's only going to make you stronger. They say something about success. Success is you being willing to do what the average person is not. So when you start gravitating everything that makes you comfortable, you just doing what average people do. You doing what mediocre people do. Well, we ain't trying to be average. So if the average person is gravitating towards things they're comfortable with, then I'm going to gravitate towards things that make me uncomfortable. Because I'm not striving to be mediocre. I'm not striving to be average. That's not in my DNA. It's not in your DNA neither, to be average. That's not in our DNA. So stop living like it. You know what I'm saying? It's in your DNA to be great. It's in your DNA to be successful. So you cannot be doing what the average person is doing. You can't be doing that. You can't be caught up in the same things that the average person is caught up in and expect to be above average. No, that's not how that works. It's not how it works at all. You got to live in opposition to that. Again, I'm doing what the average people are not willing to do. That's how you succeed. That's how you excel. That's how you elevate. That's how you evolve mentally. You got to do what everybody else is not willing to do. That's success. So on a day-to-day basis, you got to do what other people are not doing. That's what you got to do. So on your day-to-day basis, if you doing the same things on a day-to-day basis that everybody else is doing, you're going to end up like everybody else. And that's just a fact. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to end up like everybody else. I don't want to do that. I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to end up like that. I'm not too fond of where everybody else is ending up. So again, if you analyzing what people are doing and you doing the same things that everybody else is doing, you're going to live that same type of life. Same type of life. So again, you got to be willing to do what the average person is not. Whatever your industry is, man, whatever field you in, whatever you trying to master, whatever craft you striving to master, look at what the average person is doing in your field. You can't do that. You can't do what the average person in your field is willing to do. If you do that, you're going to end up like the average person in your field, but you don't want to be the average person in your field. I'm going to give y'all a jewel just if you have financial goals and you want to exceed in business. I read something and it said, what it say? The top 20% of the people in the industry make 80% of the revenue or 80% of the profit, or generate 80% of the revenue, generate 80% of the profit. So they said whatever industry you in, you got to strive to be in the top 20%. Because the top 20%, they going to generate 80% of the income, of the revenue. So whatever field you in, you got to strive to be in the top 20% of that field, of that industry, of that field. That's a Jew. So the top 20%, they doing something different than the remaining 80%. The remaining 80%, they got to fight over the 20% revenue that's left over. That's sad. And listen, all you got to do is look at society and see that that's actually true. When you look at an industry, you're going to see that it's going to be some people in that industry that's at the top. And they making bank. The top 20%, they making the bank, while you got the remaining 80%, they fighting over the crumbs. So if you got a field, if you want to earn your living doing something that you love, you got to find a way to make it in the top 20%. Meaning you can't do what everybody else in your field is doing. You got to do what that top 20% is doing and then remix it. Put your own spin on it. That's a little jewel for y'all, man. If you strive, you ain't even got to be an entrepreneur, man. Just whatever your field is, man. This can help you in business and life. Strive to be in the top 20%. Strive to be in that top 20%, man. Again, whatever your field is, man. If you striving to be a writer, you can't write like 80% of the writers do. You got to write like the top 20. You know what I'm saying? If you striving to be a mechanic, you can't function like the bottom 80%. You got to function like the top 20. If you want to be a trainer, you can't function like the bottom 80%. You got to function like the top 20. That's what you got to do. So find a way to get in the top 20% of your field, man, and then you're going to be good. Because we all out here striving to earn a living, man, so we can take care of ourselves and the fam.